everyone, welcome to ROI Digger, a new series from 360 Degree Cloud. So my name is Aparna, I'm the Senior Account Executive in APAC. Joining me today is Shardul Kakde, who is Senior Sales Manager in APAC. And we are working together from last 10 years in this industry, coming across a different dimension of client, a different sales cycle they have, and the different types of use cases that we are coming up to solve their current issues of marketing and sales cycle.
Hey Aparna, thank you for inviting me in. How are you doing today?
All good, Shardul. How about you?
I'm good as well. Thanks actually for inviting me to this event. ROI Digger by 360 actually will give a better insight for all the marketeers and the sales professionals on how better they can utilize their Salesforce CRM just by bringing the SMSs or their entire communication suite back into the CRM. Not only it is going to help them track the conversations back into the CRM, but with the insights they get, the audits they can do, they will be able to bring in the operational excellence, which not only is going to help the company, but to bring in the revenue as well. As sales reps, as management, a lot of people think only the revenue that is coming in by the customers is the incoming revenue. That's an ROI, but it isn't. If you can help the team save the time maybe by 10%, 20%, and they can concentrate that 20% into their core role, that is also an ROI, not only from the monetary perspective, but the revenue perspective as well. And that's what we are going to talk about today.
Every account, every business have a lot of sales cycle that is being used and that is being coming up on a day-to-day basis for qualifying their leads, as well as the marketing people who are running certain campaigns or certain ads to qualify the leads and give the handover to the sales people to work upon them. But I have identified many gaps in the processes they are following, that they have a lot of resources, tools and channels they are working upon, but I think the strategy is the main point which is not getting properly being used by the people, both by the sales team and the marketing team. They are running campaigns, they are running ads, but I think the way they are taking follow-ups after being the process done and how the handover is given to the salespeople before it gets into the cold leads, that's the main gap which I feel these days, that the people are not able to overcome. They are not able to qualify the leads as per the expectations. What do you think about this?
That's absolutely true. Let's actually do a little bit of a reverse engineering on how this entire sales cycle works. What's the goal of a company? Let's take an example, a financial company or a real estate company. For a loan company, to give the loans as fast as they could to the qualified borrowers. For the real estate agents, let's sell the houses as fast as they could to the qualified buyers. But what is needed in terms of that? For the real estate company, the sales cycle are longer. For the loan companies or the financial institutions, the documentation and the conversation cycles are longer. Now,
Right.
when you want to reduce that, what is needed? You need to have a qualified candidate, a qualified buyer, or a qualified borrower. But for a qualified borrower, you need to have a qualified lead at least, where you can do a conversation and understand, yes, that's the person I want to talk to, or he's the person who's going to give me a better deal or the faster conversion. For that, now comes the marketing teams. Marketing teams, they do a lot of campaigns. They run successful social media advertisements. They have a better SEO. But all the leads that are coming in may end up into a clutter. So how do you reduce the clutter, tame the chaos, and provide the qualified leads to the representatives who can help, who can close the deals faster? When we look at entire reverse engineered cycle, we can find the gaps. What is happening with the loan agents, with the real estate agents? They are on the field all the time. They use their personal phones. And when they're using their personal phones, they cannot track the conversations back into the CRM and they lose the context all the time. Of course, for both, relationship is the key. So they need to be able to use their mobile phones while on the field, and they are not able to access the Salesforce. They should be getting a qualified lead so that they can immediately initiate a conversation. But before that, they need to have the first-hand information: who I am, Where am I coming from? What are my requirements? What is the timeline that I'm looking at just to buy a house? Or if I'm looking to borrow some loan, what kind of a loan I'm looking at? What is my credit score? What is my credit history? How much money I have borrowed already? What is my income? Am I capable of making the payment? All that information, usually sales rep, whenever they get the leads, they have to do it again and again and again, in which almost for every lead they spend 10 to 15 minutes. And if you're looking at the journey of 100 leads maybe per month per agent, you are looking at spending somewhat around 600 to 700 minutes. We know we work for almost 450 minutes a day, and that's exactly the time you're looking at saving. When you're looking at 10 agents, you're saving 10 days worth work. 20 agents, 20 days worth of work. But how do we solve that problem?
How we are actually refining those processes from being transferred from marketing to the sales, because that looks good all on paper or when we talk about it, but the actual thing that comes into the picture is that when we are transferring those leads or that data to the sales people, are that actually the hot lead at that time when it's being transferred? I observed a lot of time that a big list is being given to the people to work upon, but
Yeah.
actually that list is a lot. I mean, it is the past leads that have came up, which even a single follow-up was not given up or taken up by any of the modes and channels. And there where the essence gets lost. Because if we are not getting a touch base with the people, that's when the people will forget what they were reached out to, what was the agenda, and how they have to take the next action in it. So I think that's the main gap we have to fill in there, that when we are transferring the data from marketing team to the sales team, that should be having one or two step or a journey being created altogether that helps them just to give few follow-ups and a touch base with the client, such that they don't lose that essence of what was the conversation about. What do you think about it?
Correct. That's absolutely true. I actually at 360 SMS app, I have been working with a few financial clients, a lot of real estate clients, and one common issue I found with them when they raise an inquiry, they just want to speak with the people, and the main question was why you need to close the deals faster. Now when we actually dug a little deep, when we went to the marketing team, what they told us is, when as a company, as our goal is to close the deals, be it a salesperson, marketing person, or anyone from the financial department, they just want to close the deal faster. But in the company, there are departments who have their own goals as well. For the marketing teams, they just want to get as many leads as they could, as many people interested on your website. For the sales teams, they want the qualified leads to be converted faster. So they want the conversions to be faster and more conversions. So how do we help? How we actually at 360, how we have helped is with the marketing team, whenever you receive a lead, you need to run some profiling. Although you receive thousands of leads, companies say you need to act on each and every lead. But I personally believe you should be deciding who you should be talking to, who you
Correct.
should be closing the deals with, because that's when you choose to decide speak with the people rather than people choosing to speak with you. You can close the deals faster. How can you do that? With the marketing teams, when you receive a lead from any source, be it from any social media advertisement, maybe from the SEO or your lead engagement channels, whenever it comes to the CRM, the first thing usually now our customers are running is the lead profiling campaign. What they
Correct.
do, they simply ask, what exactly are you looking at? What We are the real estate company, we can provide you the houses that you need or that you are looking for. But before that, we need some information from you. For us to look for what you're looking for, you need to tell us what exactly you are require. Do you require a 4 BHK flat? Or are you looking for a granny flat? Are you looking for a villa with 2 garages? Do you need a seafront bungalow? Tell us about your requirement. Is it an investment property, or are you looking to go and stay over there? If then, are you looking for a particular locality? Australia is a cosmopolitan country. Most of the people are migrants over here, and they prefer to stay in a specific community. Asking those profiled questions itself raises the bar or raises the rating for that particular lead. When these kind of leads are provided to the sales agents, you first of all, not all 1,000 leads are going to give you the responses. Maybe
Correct.
500, maybe 300 will start giving you the response, and 100 will remain after it's all filtered. When you are giving those 100 leads, distributing it to all the 10 people, your conversion rates will be a lot higher because you are providing the context to the representatives rather than representatives creating the context.
Yes, because I think there is one more layer that comes in between. Just let me know if you agree with my point or not. That is verification of the data which we are getting from the people.
Yes, I do
So I
agree with
have
that.
observed that we are getting a lot of leads through various channels, various resources. Like we are getting a form filled in the system, we are getting a leads created, and we have all that basic information either via email or a phone number. But I have observed there are a lot of data which is getting filled wrong by the people while they are coming for an inquiry, either on our website or through any of the form filling steps. Okay,
Correct.
and I observed that that particular step is always pushing us back to reach out to the proper head of clients that we should convert, because in the real estate, like example of a real estate company is the best in this case. If I am going to buy any, I mean a property in any of the areas and I am looking for 100 of them, so in 100 of them I am not giving my correct data. I am
Yeah.
just putting up a false data in either 4 of them or 5 of them or maybe 20 of them. That's actually looking good at my point, but if I put in myself in the shoes of marketing or the salespeople, that is very difficult for them to close. And according to that, I think there comes a picture and the layer that should be implemented, that is the verification of the particular data which we are getting. That verification, I think that will help us close more and more
Yeah,
profiles or leads which we are getting.
that is true. In fact, the verification, in my opinion, does not help you close the deals, but help you identify which are the real deals that you should be talking about. Again, we talk about the leads coming through. If you do not verify, what happens? You are going to spend a lot of time in reaching out to the people where you're going to have a lot of bounce rates. The calls are not going to get connected, and you're going to spend minutes, maybe 5 to 7 minutes per lead just to generate a campaign for that particular lead and not getting a response. So verification is much more necessary for the marketing teams, where you can, again, out of the 1,000, the profiling and the verification is just going to help you filter out the leads which are not verifiable. If the email address and the phone numbers are incorrect, there is no way you can reach out to the people. But for you to know, you have to run a campaign. And if there is a feature that actually allows you to verify, then you are not even going to reach out, because even if you are creating a campaign, there is a cost involved. And to
Correct.
help you save that cost, verification of the email address and the mobile numbers is necessary.
Yeah, I
Our
think that's the main agenda we have to focus and work upon, because that's the main common issue which I am hearing these days from the businesses. And the main gap actually comes from the basic steps which, if a person or a team can follow, that can give us the more output processes.
Imagine sales representatives, and I actually come from a sales background as well, and we keep on complaining about we are not getting good leads. We are not getting good leads. And whenever we have a meeting with the management, marketing team says, hey, we have given you almost 50 leads this month. How come you're saying those are not the leads? And then I have to go and explain them, see, this lead did not have a mobile number. This lead did not have an email address. This lead was a Gmail lead. And that entirely tells me that I'm actually working on a clutter and then there is no clarity. The marketing team's job is to give us the qualified lead. That's not only the lead, but the qualified lead that actually helps me into finding a result. If this verification is going to help me reduce the clutter where the verifiable deals are only transferred to the representatives, and then the ones which are not verifiable, which are spam leads, they are just taken out of the database. Your database remains clean, which is much more needed for any management, any company. Marketing teams are happy. They are giving the qualifiable leads, and the conversions are then calculated properly. What
Right.
is the point when I'm doing the calculation on getting 50 leads but doing one conversion rather than getting 10 workable leads and one conversion? That itself tells me that I'm moving my conversion rate to directly to 10%. Just giving an example. The ideal is 50, maybe more than that, but it has to be done on a real data, which can only be coming after you do the filtration by doing the profiling and verification of the email addresses and the phone numbers.
That is questioning your capabilities too, I think. Because if,
Absolutely.
right, for a
We can talk
salesperson,
more and
this
more.
Right. For a salesperson, it's very difficult to justify such pointers because that looks good on the UI, but actually that's a lot of gaps that comes up from the back end itself.
Exactly. And the people do not identify that. We can keep on talking about, now that we have initiated this entire ROI Digger session by 360 SMS
Yes.
app, we can keep on talking about how the gaps can be bridged. We are the bridge that actually fills the gap into the communication and the CRM space for the customers. We can continue this into a new session where we can talk about how sales teams can maximize their conversation to convert the deals faster. How they can do it while they are on the road, while they are using the communications. Whenever the leads are coming back in a longer sales cycle journeys, leads are coming back, how they can utilize those conversations back, looking at the context, making it a contextual conversation, and bringing in better operationally excellent ROI as well.
Correct. Let's stay tuned for that particular processes and this conversation as well. I think that will help a lot of people.
Absolutely. So stay tuned for the next session where we are going to talk about how sales team can maximize their revenue just using the simple SMS tool and how 360 can help as well.
See you later then.
Thank you.